The episode kicks off with a woman, who is a voodoo priestess in the series, where the camera films an over-the-shoulder shot of her walking down the street. This serves as leading lines to the direction she is heading to, until she abruptly turns around, as though something had drawn her towards that particular direction. The camera then switches to a low-angle shot, which shows her determined expression, and she drinks from a bottle and spits it out, as if conducting a ritual of sorts. Camera then films a side view of her, of which she is squatting and drawing grids and arrows on the floor, seemingly guiding her towards her next direction. The camera takes on a perspective where she is captured as outside of a gate. The focus still lies on the woman by blurring out the gate slightly. The woman then proceeds on to look at the gate, where she stands out and advances towards it. The camera lingers on the figure she had drawn on the floor, as if conveying that it was of importance, before directing it towards her again. The camera then wanders away, towards a pipe which says "Rock on." It then focuses back on her, with a somewhat close-up shot of her, showing her concerned and slightly shaken expression. The camera shakes along with it, showing a form of instability which resembles her emotions. It then switches to a shot from her point of view, clearly showing her line of vision which focuses on the rock-on pipe. Throughout this whole opening scene, there was no dialogue, which heightens the sense of mystery and serves as a form of foreshadowing, of which something bigger would be revealed later on in the series. This part of the episode shows a lesson being taught by Father Delgado, who is a pastor, and the scene slowly transits into one where Tandy Bowen, the protagonist, is burning a photo of a family, trying to remove any traces of her dead abusive father, where her expression is shown from a low-angle shot that clearly shows her face, which wears an absolute look of defiance and disappointment. Whatever Father Delgado is teaching, commentates and voices over her actions, where there are parallels being drawn between the action and words. This lesson commentary later becomes the anchor of the entire episode, with many scenes and intentional inclusions that draw for foreshadowing. This scene introduced another character, Detective O'Reilly. The lighting around her is said to be dark, with flashes of blue light, which reflects the instability and shock of what she is currently feeling, and as a whole to signify death and the feeling of emptiness that she feels due to the death of a loved one. This scene introduces the other protagonist, Tyrone, where he walks down the hallway with a look of lost on his face and accidentally bumps into another student, which seemed like it was what it took to get him riled up and lose control. The camera slowly creeps in to show tension, and takes on a close-up shot, where the details of his face are shown, and captures the minor actions like his nostrils flaring. The shot also allows Tyrone to appear bigger, to exert a certain degree of dominance, while also keeping the other student in the frame but blurred, to make him seem like the trigger of Tyrone's following actions, but not entirely the cause. Tyrone then engages in a fight with the student, of which the camera follows, and enhances the effect of the commotion caused. There are several changes in camera angles and movements, to show the outburst of anger and lack of control. Throughout these camera movements, there is music playing in the background, with lyrics like "Sick of all the pain" and "I lost control," and "Demons in the dark," which all corresponds to the happenings in that particular scene. This part of the episode shows Mina Hess, a recurring character in the series, where an over-the-shoulder shot is filmed, to show that she is having a conversation with Tandy, while Tandy is seemingly tuning her out and zoning out. Muffled sounds of Mina's voice are heard, and since it is an over-the-shoulder shot, it blurs out her hair and focuses on Tandy, who is not paying attention to the conversation at all. In the scene, Tandy looks with envy towards Mina and her father, and the camera captures a kettle of boiling water in a medium close-up shot, to show its initial build-up to the next scene and draws parallels to Tandy's emotions. Mina offers Tandy a job at Recon, which causes Tandy to be angry. The dialogue in this scene is then blocked out and the sound of the boiling water is amplified and becomes louder. The camera then constantly changes from Tandy's expression to the boiling kettle of water, which is captured by a close-up shot of the water which is bubbling rapidly. Then Tandy's anger seems to build up and accumulates, of which the camera captures an extreme close-up shot of the boiling water as she reaches for Mina's hand. This scene shows the contrast between the divine pairing, which refers to Tandy and Tyrone. Tandy is able to access people's hopes while Tyrone is able to access people's biggest fears. The filming often changes and transits between the two scenes, one of dark lighting and the other of bright lighting, which resembles both their powers and situations. The constant switching between scenes shows that these are concurrent events and significantly show the contrast between the two, which is something that audiences would be drawn to. In the scene, Tyrone opens a door amidst the darkness to show the blinding light at the other side of the door. It shows the contrast between the two sides but at the same time shows a connection between the two through the use of the door and the fact that light and darkness are polar opposites. This scene emphasizes on the connection between Tandy and Tyrone, where the camera shoots them carrying out concurrent events separately again, where both are walking and a medium close-up is taken of them, where they maneuver past people and reach a reflective surface, for Tandy, the glass window of a shop, and for Tyrone, the puddle of water. Both are then seen staring at the respective surfaces for a while before walking away. The medium close-up is taken from another point of view, not bothering to get a clear shot of the person but allowing certain distractions to cloud and put the image out of focus, at times causing the person to not be seen. This could resemble the emotions that both individuals are facing, distracted and basically a mess. Nearing the end of the episode, Tyrone is faced with a huge problem, where he is accused of murder. There is a lot of panic involved in this scene, where Tyrone flees from his house and the camera captures the constant flashing of lights, and records the muffled sounds of incoherent words from outside the house made by the police, while the voices of Tyrone and his mum shouting fade into the background due to the sounds of chaos overpowering them. It also shows the constant shaking of the camera to enhance the commotion occurring and the panic and desperateness that both characters are facing. This is the last scene of the episode, where Tandy goes to visit her mother, and the assassin takes Tandy by surprise by pulling her mother by the hair and shooting at Tandy. When the shots are fired, the camera shakes throughout, as though experiencing the tremors that were felt in the show, and this creates a visual effect which allows the audience to feel shaken alongside the characters, hence enabling us to connect with the scene. This scene splits the screen into half, and divides the audience's attention, and now has to make the choice of looking at the assassin holding her mother at gunpoint, or looking at Tandy, hence reflecting the choice that Tandy is going to make, between running away like she always does and helping her mother. This allows her